me by hair, I don't give a damn.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. He's looking at you, kid.
The fifth film in the series, You Only Live Twice, is considered to be the first film in a string of bad 007 films that didn't really end until the mid-70s. And it's definitely understandable. The film suffers from its fair share of downfalls. It has a fairly generic plotline in which the antagonist pits two countries against one another to begin a full-scale war. More importantly, people tend to consider the character of Blofeld to be a little bit of a letdown. And why not? After 4 films of build-up, the first face-to-face matchup between Bond and the leader of Spectre does kind of fall a little bit flat. That said, this has always been one of my favorite films of the series. Ken Adams is totally at the peak of his 007 design, and I know that I've used the phrase cavernous layer before, but this is the quintessential instance of it. The hollowed-out volcano is one of the most impressive sets in the series. The editing is also right back up to snuff with some of the most well-paced action to date, especially the strikingly beautiful aerial footage. Even from a technical standpoint, the visual effects are a marked improvement on previous attempts. And speaking of improvements, this is the first time in 2 straight films in which James does not have one of those downright ridiculous non-consensual turned consensual sex scenes. Sadly though, they did use the Japanese setting as kind of an excuse to be heavy-handed on the misogyny.
In Japan, men always come first, women come second.
I might just retire to here.
Which was then later satirized in the 007 knockoff Austin Powers.
In Japan, men come first and women come second.
Or sometimes not at all.
Perhaps one of the most noticeable flaws is Connery's acting. After a pair of really solid performances, it's clear that he wants out. Off-screen, Connery claimed that he had become disillusioned with the franchise and was ready to move on. And it kinda showed. And so far as anyone knew at the time, this would be the last chance they'd ever get to see Sean Connery as Agent 007.